Hey guys, Glitcher11 Gaming here, and today I thought I would make pretty much a separate video just for hybriding cars, because from what I've seen from my previous videos, from Gran Turismo 5, about DLC cars and other cars, it's like people were kind of confused, like which one, like what would work with what, and how would this work, and I thought I'll just make just a separate video just for hybrids for now because that's pretty much the funnest thing to do. But before we get into this video, let me first tell you what you'll need. So you're either gonna need the PS3 version or an emulator that can support, like running the PS3 version. So you can either have the emulator RPCS3 or you can, use a real PS3. But in this case, for today at least, I'm gonna be using a real PS3. But the process is pretty much the same. So, another thing that you'll need is you'll need any type of USB drive that has, like at least enough space for the game, for like the save data for itself. Usually the save data becomes like 1 megabyte, depending on how many cars you have. If you have like over 500 cars, it'll be like 2 or 3 megabytes, but pretty much nothing. But just make sure you have a USB formatted in FAT32. So it has to be in FAT32, otherwise the PS3 can't recognize it. And you do not need a jailbroken console. You do not need a jailbroken console. You can use it on non-modified consoles, but in this video I'm gonna be using it on hen. But again, I repeat, you don't need a modified console. You can do this on official firmware. You don't have to, mod it or anything. And that's pretty much it. So in order to make this pretty much, work, another thing also to a thing that you need a Windows PC. Just pretty much most PCs, ship with Windows. Anyways, that's all you need, and now that we can start hybriding, first of all, you need a car. It doesn't matter really what it is, pretty much. It can be anything, really. And speaking of cars, your game version has to be on 2.11, especially because 2.11 supports the horsepower hack and other features. But any version pretty much after 2.14 completely, patches hybrid functionality. So it's best to have your game version from 2.11 to 2.14. If you don't know how to downgrade your game, I don't really, recommend you doing that, because if you don't know what you're doing, you can corrupt your save and you can lose all your progress. So anyways, I'm on version 2.11, and basically at this stage you can just go get whatever car you want. I'll be looking for my car that I want, because usually I like to have very specific hybrids. But yeah. Alright, so in this case, I'll be picking an R8 LMS race car. So yeah, that's pretty much all you need to do for now. I mean, the only thing that you gotta do is just pick your color. So, and after going around a little bit, back and forth, I think I'll be picking this color. Well, you never saw that. Wait, I just realized I need more. A lot more. There we go. That should be good. Also, if you're wondering how I modded my credits, in the description is a link to the Gran Turismo modding and online Discord server. In there, we hang out there, and there's a lot of great people in there who want to mod the game, have fun. And over there's actually a mod. That sounds good. But there's a mod in there that lets you, play online, and you basically, play online with other people as long as you have like a hen or CFW modded console. and that's also what I use to mod my credits. So credits to them also, and make sure to join. Anyways, so from here, now that you got your car, all that you have to do is go to the bottom left and click save. And just wait for it to save. Like it says, don't turn off your system, don't quit the game. And what I like to do, just to make sure, is I like to do a double save. Just to be sure that, you know, when I save, nothing goes wrong. Because I learned that the hard way. One time it failed, and I couldn't save anymore. But anyways, so, now that you saved, you need to make sure that you don't see any saving data indicators on the bottom left. If you do have a saving data indicator on the bottom right, or on the middle of your screen, just wait till that finishes and then quit the game. You just want to go to your XMB, so, and then all that you have to do is you just have to go and just hit quit game. Now that we're back over at the XMB, all that you want to do is go to your save data utility, make sure it's the PS3 one, and then you'll see both of your saves. You'll see Gran Turismo 5 and Gran Turismo 5 backup. So from here, make sure that these pretty much both match. They sometimes won't match because one of them keeps a backup, but just make sure you have both of them and make sure none of them are corrupted or anything. But from here you want to go to your online storage, but don't click on it. Just hover over online storage. All that you want to do is just go plug in your USB drive that you formatted to FAT32 and plug it directly into your PS3's USB port. Open up your flash drive, and as you can see here, I already have a Gran Turismo 5, I already have a Gran Turismo 5 save data here, so I'm just going to delete the one that I have on my USB. And then go back here and you see that we have stuff on our hard drive. So what you're going to do is you're going to hit triangle on the backup version. Do not do it on this one. Hit triangle on the backup one, the one where it says backup, and then hit delete. Okay, now from here, you should only have this one, just the actual Gran Turismo 5 save. Funny kilobyte number. Anyways, so from here, it's going to hit triangle on this one, and do not delete it. Just hit copy, and go down to your USB drive and just hit X, so you can, copy it over. Now, from here, hit back, and then make sure that your save is in there, make sure it matches. Right, it matches, and then just exit out of here, and then just remove your USB stick. Now from here, what you're going to do is you're going to plug in the USB onto your PC. So all that you have to do is just plug into your PC, and you should hear a tone, and it usually does its thing, but you're just gonna click on this, and in the description there will be a zip file, and once you download it, just run gt5editor.exe, and sometimes this should pop up. Now you should see your PSN name be something completely weird, and your directory for your save might be, weird. But all that you want to do from here is select your save directory. So just hit select backup, and then click on this PC, and then find your USB drive. For me, it's this one. So Samsung USB H, my H drive. And all that you really want to do from here is you want to go down, and you should see a PS3 folder. Open that up. Let's go down, and you should see a BCUS or BCES. You'll see a whole bunch of numbers, but the important part is it'll say dash game. I'm not sure the exact numbers for the European version, which would be the BCES, but as long as it had a dash game and it says BCES, then you should be good. If you're running the US version of the game, then it'll say BCUS 98114 dash game. Click on that one and click OK, and it should have the directory. Now in here, all that you want to do is just first try out your PSN username. So try like putting your PSN username. If your PSN username doesn't work, try putting in your XMB username. So if you're using your, your XMB username, you just want to go to your XMB all the way to the left and find out your username. But for me, it is glitcher101YT. And all that you want to do from here is make sure that you have all of these correct, because once you load it, it's gonna decrypt the save, and if you do something wrong, you could mess it up. So just be careful. Just click load car info. The little thing should pop up, and it should disappear, and it should show your name of the car. Now, if it doesn't, if it has an error or something, or if it pops up with something that says MSVCR100.dll was not found and the program can't run correctly, what you're gonna have to do is basically you're missing the DLL, or you have an old version of the DLL. So all that you want to do is just go online and find a more recent version of the DLL, or just completely install it. Usually that DLL comes with Microsoft C++ redistributable packages, especially like the ones after 2010, and those should install a file called MSVCR100 into your System32 folder, which in turn will make the program work, the GT5 Hybrid Builder. So now we're gonna have to do is we're gonna have to go and do the horsepower hacks. So from here, all that you have to do is, or you don't have to do a horsepower hack, but for me right now I'm just gonna be doing some stuff to my car. So engine, I kind of want to swap it out with a Pagani engine. So if we scroll down to P, I'm missing it. There we go. P, Pagani. There we go. I'll swap it out with this one. Chassis works, but it messes up the wheels because it's loading the wheel positions from whatever car that you want to swap it out with. Gearbox, in my experience, doesn't really work because it just resets to its default gearbox. This pretty much doesn't really work for me either. But color works. Just make sure don't mess it up. And weight, I don't recommend you touch that either, because that can also mess up other things if you enter a wrong value. Don't select this level thing in here. You can pretty much just select chassis, body, engine, your drivetrain, suspension. All of those should work, at least from my experience. So all that you want to do from here is whenever you're done with this, all that you want to do, I'm done with here. That's all I really want to pretty much add. Actually, I will change out the drivetrain for. I'll top out with a V12 LMR race car drivetrain. Suspension is fine. So, but for me, I'm gonna enable all tires, so I could use secret tires like super softs or super hards and other tires. But in this video, we're gonna be focusing on the horsepower hacks as well. So for me, to get like 3,000, to get about 3,500 horsepower, you would enter like 25. If you want to get, because the limit is 255, if I remember correctly. The limit is 255, but if you want to get like insane horsepower, like multi-thousand horsepower, all that you want to do, like if you want to get like anything above pretty much 15,000 to 100,000 horsepower, depending on what car you have, just set 255. The grip doesn't really work that well, because your car can end up doing wheelies afterwards, and for some reason, it can also, mess up the handling itself. Where you would have that extra grip, but it wouldn't really handle as well. It wouldn't really be able to turn for some reason, which is kind of the opposite of what I expected to do. But I wouldn't touch these, in my opinion. Just put on super softs by enabling all tires, and that's pretty much what I'm gonna do. All other things I'm fine with. That's all I pretty much want to do to this car. And the colors and stuff like that, I'll put them in GT Auto. Speaking of GT Auto, make sure that you then take your car and do an oil change, because this relies on the oil change feature in order to, to actually be able to save the hybrid. So if you already did an oil change on the car, you have to go back to your game, buy a new car, so basically you wouldn't have the oil change. Then repeat all the process, like get onto the USB, plug it in, and then load car info, and then until you have it again. But if you already did not do oil change, then you're good anyways. But that's what I'm gonna do pretty much. I'm just gonna hit hybrid car and and click OK and close out of here. Now let's go to your other menu here. Right click on this and just eject the USB drive. Eject flash drive, save to remove hardware. And all that you want to do is you want to go back to your PS3 like so and plug in the USB. Once you have the USB plugged in, just go into save data utility, and you should see your save that's on your hard drive is still here. So don't delete that, just go to your USB and hover over Gran Turismo 5. Depending on what you did, your file size may have increased a little, which is good. Just hit triangle on the one that's in your USB. Hit copy. It's gonna ask you if you want to overwrite it. Just say yes. It's gonna ask you if you really want to overwrite the save. And say yes. Don't unplug your USB. Do not. And back out of here. Now unplug your USB. That's pretty much all you have to do. But there's one more big thing. Before you completely go into the game, the first thing that you have to do, the very first thing that you want to do, is as quickly as you can, just go directly to GT Auto. I won't be making any cuts because I want you to see exactly how this works. If you see a saving data icon there, that means the save actually worked and wasn't corrupted. So if it says saving data before the title screen, that means it worked. Now, go directly to GT mode. Do not let anything else load, because it will mess up the hybrid. And then from here, go to GT Auto. And all that you want to do from here is just head over to... You want to go and head over to your oil change. And there we go. There's our 3,000 horsepower. And we're just going to hit start oil change. And now, after this oil change is done, it should save your hybrid. From here, you can do whatever you want with your car. Doesn't really matter now because you did all this stuff. Now, another thing that you might be careful of: do not overhaul your engine, because that will sometimes mess up the engine and the horsepower hack. Like I said, you cannot change the color of this car, but yet I can. Anyways, so what I'm gonna do is I'm actually gonna keep it this color because I think it's nice. But I can't change the rims. Obviously, don't have any of those. I mean, I could do a car wash. And why not? The shower of car. The car shower. Alright, so all that you have to do is just exit out of here. Depending on what you did, it will say updating car data. But just let that go and it should save afterwards. Where it should say, bottom right, saving data. Now all that you want to do is you want to go through whatever track you would like. Doesn't really matter depending on what car you got. Now because I want to have like a kind of like a track / speed demon, I would go to practice. And I kind of want to like pick like an ovally track, kind of like High Speed Ring. And if it worked, you should see all of these new tires. Racing, just the C tires, the ones that are labeled as C, mean they're better for cornering, but kind of lack a little bit in speed. V tires that have like a V abbreviation to them means that they are best for speed, but not as well as cornering. So I'll be picking the one that's in the middle, which is just the Racing Super Softs. Traction control, I'll be turning it off, but you can keep it on. And that's really it. You can, do whatever you want with your car. And depending on what you did with your car, it might actually sound pretty different. If you put a whole bunch of horsepower on it, it will sound like a sized up RC car. But mine shouldn't sound, too weird because I only gave it 3,000 horsepower. But you can actually tune up this car even more. So, let's say we go into settings, and we can actually give it even more horsepower than it already has. Now, I'm pretty sure this is already enough, but, yeah, we can. 4,111 horsepower. Now, this is where it also becomes handy. You just want to go stretch out your gear ratios a little. So I'm just going to stretch them out to... I'm going to stretch them out to like 320 works good. And, drivetrain, see if we can do anything in there. Nope. Nope. That's really it. And just go and hit start. And now your hybrid should have worked. I'm not gonna talk anymore so you can actually hear the car. Depending on what you did to the car, it can be pretty slidey. But I kept it in 6th gear, so I wouldn't slide out that much. And it already has enough power to, push through 6th gear. So yeah, that's pretty much it. You can do it to pretty much literally every single car in the game. I think it is literally every single car in the game. You can even do it on go-karts, but that wouldn't really work well because, you can't really extend the gear ratios, to make it go faster. It would just be topped out or whatever its top speed was, unless you want to make like a super glitchy car. But, anyways, that's pretty much it. That's all you gotta do. Just repeat all those steps for whatever other car you want to use, whatever other, hybrids that you want to make, and it pretty much works. And that's really it. By the way, before I end this video, I have this absolutely retarded Red Bull that I gave 98,000 horsepower to, and it sounds weird. It also goes really, really fast. Dude, I wonder what happens if I hit the wall. Boom. Boom. Usually the game likes to do like a mini sonic boom when it gets, too slow. But yeah, have fun modding your cars. Make sure to join the Discord in the description if you wanna, because this is like the very just basics of kind of not even modding, it's just save editing. But if you want real mods, just join the Discord in the description below. If you have a modified PlayStation PS3, then you're lucky and you can actually install the online mod for Gran Turismo 5 and you could possibly see me in a lobby. Anyways, that's it for today. Have a good one.